Hi everyone, my name is Peter Watson and I am co-founder of outdoor travel blog Atlas and Boots. I'm also a Highlander ambassador and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to choose a sleeping bag. I've got with me today my 4-season winter sleeping bag as well as a 3-season lighter sleeping bag which I use for summer and spring trips around Europe. Now the first thing I'm going to talk to you today about is the warmth rating of a sleeping bag. Now I'd always rather be too warm than too cold. I find it easier to cool down than I do to warm up. So my advice is to always buy a sleeping bag that is slightly warmer than what you think you need. Now to do this you need to check the comfort limit of a sleeping bag, and that's basically the lowest temperature in which you should be able to get a comfortable night's sleep. So my winter bag has a comfort limit of -12, whereas my 3-season bag has a comfort limit of -2. Now sleeping bags also come with something called an extreme limit, which is basically the survival temperature, which is the lowest temperature which will keep you alive and stop you from getting frostbite. This bag, the winter bag, comes with an extreme limit of -42 degrees Celsius, whereas this one comes with a lower limit of -17, I think. Okay, both of them are fine for what they're intended to do. Now sleeping bags also come with season ratings, or some of them come with season ratings. As I said earlier, this is a 4-season bag, which means you can use it throughout the year in winter conditions. This is a 3-season bag, which means you can use it in spring, summer and autumn, but not winter conditions. You can also get 2-season bags, spring and summer, and 1-season bags, which are only for summer. Personally, I would never buy anything less than a 3-season sleeping bag. It's easier to cool down than it is warm up. I'd always rather be warmer than colder. Now the next thing I want to talk to you about is insulation. Now there are 2 main types of insulation. One is down, which comes from duck and goose feather, and one is synthetic, which is man-made materials such as Primaloft. Now when it comes to down is measured in something called fill power, which is basically how fluffy or how thick it is in a certain space. Now my winter one comes with a fill power of 650, which is pretty good, but you can get fill powers up to 900 or 1000, and we're talking K2 winter mountaineering there, so really warm. This 3-season one comes with a fill power of 350, which is considerably less, but it's perfectly fine for use around Europe during spring and summer. Now I'm just going to talk about a couple of the pros and cons, some of the benefits or the drawbacks of the different types. The good thing about down is it has a better warmth to weight ratio than synthetic materials, which means it will keep you warmer and weigh a bit less, whereas synthetics has a bit of a lower warmth to weight ratio. Down tends to maintain its fluffiness over time, whereas synthetic will compress and lose its fluffiness. The thing is with down though is you have to keep it in a bag like this, because if you keep it in a stuff sack it will start to lose its fluffiness, whereas synthetic is a bit more durable, you can pull it around and stuff. If down tears it will leak all its feathers pretty quickly, whereas synthetic will hold together. One drawback of down is that if it gets wet it loses its insulation power pretty quickly. Whereas synthetic will still keep you warm at night if it gets wet. So it's something to bear in mind. If you're going to be using it in wet weather conditions, perhaps synthetic might be better than down. Another thing to bear in mind is that down is more expensive, synthetic is cheaper, and also there are ethical considerations. When you buy down, geese and ducks, they are the casualties of the down trade. So just bear that in mind and always try to buy ethically sourced down. They should come with a little tag somewhere which actually has a number somewhere here, which actually has a number so you can trace it all the way to the farm where it was produced. So finally, my advice is if you're only intending to go camping and hiking in warm conditions around Europe, which could potentially rain, I would consider getting a synthetic sleeping bag. However, if you're going to go into colder, if you're going to use your sleeping bag in colder conditions and in winter conditions, then still go for down. The technology in synthetic sleeping bags hasn't quite caught up with down yet, so down does keep you warmer. The next thing I'm going to talk to you briefly about is just some of the features of a sleeping bag to look out for. So first of all, you've got these things called neck baffles or draft tubes. Okay, now neck baffles are exactly what they sound like. They go around your neck, they're attached to the sleeping bag, but they go around your neck and they help to keep you just that little bit warmer. They keep the draft out and the heat in. Likewise, the draft tubes that go along the zippers, again, they just help to keep the draft out. It all helps to keep you that little bit warmer. The next thing to look out for is drawer cords. Self-explanatory really. On a cold night you can pull these in and really cocoon yourself inside and keep yourself warm, so they're really useful. Another useful feature are these stash pockets. First, I mean, you can keep, obviously they're for keeping things in, but they're really useful for keeping anything like batteries or things that will suffer from cold. So if you're about to climb a really high mountain and it's really cold, it's useful to put your batteries in there so that you can take pictures the following day. Finally, the most important thing to look out for is the zipper. Okay, zippers, as demonstrated, always get stuck. However, but a good quality big zipper will mean that it keeps the warmth in, keeps the cold out, and doesn't drive you up the wall trying to use it. The last thing I'm going to talk to you about today is I'm just going to mention a few reliable brands when it comes to sleeping bags. My 4-season bag is made by Marmot. They're really reliable, they're really good when it comes to cold weather gear. Other good brands are Rab, the North Face, Mountain Hardware, Mammoth, Haglofs. Anything from Scandinavia is usually pretty reliable. A good brand when it comes to sort of all-rounder gear is this sleeping bag is made by Robens, which is a Danish company, I think, and again they just make good all-round gear which is useful in sort of a range of conditions. Right, that's it from me. Thanks ever so much for watching. I hope it's been useful and I look forward to meeting you all out there on the trails.